Hello everyone and welcome to my second Halloween tutorial of the year. I am really excited about sharing this one because it's a look that I've wanted to do for a really long time. I've been obsessed with the idea of making a completely monochrome face, but with a little bit of a twist. So I really hope you enjoy this. I'm starting by mixing a white face paint and the Illamasqua Skin Base foundation in the shade White, and I'm using both of these products to build up a really white base. I'm leaving one of my eyes bare as that's the eye that's going to be my real skin, almost as if we're erasing the monochrome mask that we're wearing. This step isn't necessary, but I am using a Kryolan translucent powder just to set that first coat of white face paint and then going on to build up another couple of layers. I don't want any of my skin, my natural skin, to be showing at all, so this bit does take a while. I would say this look is quite difficult, so if you're going to recreate it, leave yourself a couple of hours just to be safe. To start on the eyes and the eyebrows, I'm taking the Asos Kohl eyeliner in black, and I'm using this just through my brows as I would a brow pencil, and also taking Benefit's Roller Lash liquid eyeliner. I really like this eyeliner, it's really pigmented and the nib is really precise so you can get great definition, and I'm doing that on the tiniest bit of the other eye that is not covered. Here I'm just sketching out where I want my real eye to be, and then I'm prepping both of my eyes with my favourite primer. It's the Bareminerals Nude one. Adding a little bit more white face paint here just to cover up any redness. Oh, and a sip of tea. Next I'm taking this palette I am obsessed with. It's the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice palette, and I'm taking the grey shade which is called Shisha Smoke. Great names in this palette. And here I am building up the monochrome grey smoky eye, so just blending that into the crease of my eye and also taking it under my lower lash line before using that liquid eyeliner again to draw a bit of a cat flick. I'm also blending out a little bit more underneath and using the Kohl liner to line my top and bottom waterlines, as we don't want any redness showing through. Next, to fill in my brow that is still showing, I'm using my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, just giving that a little bit of a comb and a brush through before applying some foundation in that part. I don't know how to describe this. I'm using the Burberry Fresh Glow Gel Stick Foundation in the shade Porcelain, and just kind of blending that in so I have a nice base to work on. Next, for this side, I am again taking my Fenty palette, and here I'm going to use the shade Cumin Get It. Bloody told you I love these names of eyeshadows. And this is a really gorgeous warm toned orange, and I'm blending that into the crease of my eye before taking the shade Desert Bait, which is a gorgeous copper shimmer, on my eyelid. I then decided I needed something a little bit more golden to spice things up, so I'm taking the shade Maracouche, which is a gold, and I think you'll agree this eyeshadow is so beautiful. And again using the liquid liner on top, so they're both very similar smoky eyes but just using different colours. I'm also taking this red shade which is called Saffron and using that underneath my lower lash line and in the crease of my eye, and making sure to blend it all out. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Marc Velvet Noir. This is one of my faves, so I'm doing this on both eyes, top and bottom lashes. And then taking a grey face paint to start building up a bit of a contour. As I said in my last Halloween tutorial, contouring is super important when you're painting your face a completely different colour, but we'll get back to that in a second. For lips, I'm going to be using a Kohl black liner. You can use any liner, and I'm just lining them here and filling them in with the Estee Edit Lip Flip in number 2 turn down. You can use any black lipstick here, and then also putting some black eyeshadow on top of this. I'm using one from Kiko, it's called number 15 black, and I'm also using this eyeshadow as a contour, so buffing that into my cheekbones, in my temple, around my forehead, underneath my jawline as well. I found really made a difference, and topping up with white face paint as I go to make sure that I stay completely matte and monochrome. I don't know if you noticed there, but I also added some black eyeshadow in my nostrils because that can show, and I'm also taking some of that eyeshadow around, what do you call that? My nose, my nostrils, and around my lips, just to add a little bit more definition. I'm also going to add a little bit more definition into my real eye side. So I'm taking the Kiko Full Coverage 2-in-1 foundation on a tiny little eyeshadow brush and just making sure that that area is completely like highlighted and defined so that it looks like real skin underneath. And doing the same with some white face paint on the other side, just adding a little bit of highlighter on the inner corner of the eye, under the brow bone and on the eyelid, just to really kind of try and mimic the real side. Adding a little bit more definition and face paint onto my neck and body before adding some lashes. I actually don't know where these lashes are from, but you could use any that you want. Now I want to start really building up that erased look, so I'm just taking some more white face paint on an eyeshadow brush and buffing that in kind of really random motions. Also adding a tiny bit of that white face paint onto my lips to add a little bit more definition. As you can see, these tiny little details really bring it to life, so the more of that you can do, the better. And then I'm taking the shade Henna C from the Fenty palette and using that with a tiny bit of black eyeshadow to really start defining the erased part of my skin. A little bit more of the liquid liner here. There's really no right or wrong way to do this, but it is a super impressive look. So final things is a wig. I got this wig from eBay. It's a bit rubbish, but it does the job. Adding a little bit more white face paint to my arm. And here is the finished look. I am really chuffed with this. I kind of hated it as I was doing it, but once it all came together, I was really proud of myself. I did find this quite difficult, but I think it was completely worth it. I haven't seen anything like this out and about on Halloween, so if you do it, do please send me a picture, tag me in Instagram. Be sure to also join me over on Instagram for some more Halloween content, and I will see you next week. Bye!